Hello everybody, this is Simon with Let's Play Sonic Unleashed. If we are going by country order, Jungle Joyride is the final normal werehog level to unlock. However, you voted to do it before going to Arid Sands Night, so that's what we are going to do. I'm showing the brief path towards it here as a reminder that if you stay at night, you need to do this small box lifting puzzle. In previous entrance stages, this would be used as a tutorial for what you have to do in the stage itself. Curiously, there are no boxes to be lifted in Jungle Joyride. Instead, this level doesn't really have a central gimmick, which is a bit strange for what could be considered the culmination of the werehog levels. And finally, turning around at the start is a reward. You can also destroy these small shells and you get a little bit of unleashed juice for it, which is a fun detail that doesn't amount to much. I'm checking briefly the combat skills we have unlocked because I haven't done that in a while, just as a reminder what I actually have, but also because I have no idea exactly how to use these ones here, the aerial combos, the last ones in the list, YYXXA and the other way around, and I am going to try them out in a second, but I can't promise that I will fully integrate them into my arsenal because I am not the greatest at using aerial attacks, especially if you get sniped by a plant. This very first combat encounter seems very basic, and honestly most of them in this level are going to stay that way. It is similar in combat, this is one of our new skills by the way, as it is in platforming. There is nothing really in this level which we haven't seen before, and again, it doesn't really feel climactic. I wonder if there was some shuffling around being done here, or if they were like out of ideas at some point. Anyway, it seems like I should be using the aerial skills against these hornets, but they are really hard to set up, and because you keep attacking them, like here for example, they keep dodging, and while they are dodging, they are almost completely invincible for like 2 seconds. Like here for example, I'm clearly hitting them for a lot of the time, but then nothing really happens. Here, lots of attacks like this one here are obviously connecting with them, and again, full combos, not hitting them at all until they finally line up in the way that at the end of their dodge, their invincibility frames finally run out and I can hit them. This is part of why I find them so incredibly annoying to fight. There are of course methods to do it, but it is hard to set it up if you don't have a running start, and overall they just remain my least favorite enemies. Fortunately, there are no more hornets in this stage, so that's fine overall. There is a secret here, and some of the secrets in this level involve finding these breakable walls, which again is something we have seen before in Shunan for example. And then we have fight here with a bunch of flowers, similar to how it was set up in Missouri, and it remains pretty simple here, especially the running attacks can take out the weak flowers really quickly. Don't forget that you have a shield. At this point I remember that I also have a dodge, this, yeah, which I also never use, because I mean even getting me to remember that the shield exists is difficult. But you know, it works, it's fine. And then using the charge up moves you can take care of these guys really quickly. Come on, stop blocking, excellent, this is how you break this, and we are done with this relatively basic and simple combat encounter as well. Now here we have to use the pole, which is something the level does a little bit more often. Again, something we've seen in Dragon Road at night, so they feel relatively similar in style and what you have to do here, though also the platforming here is less difficult, arguably. We will see about that. Now here is a wave fight, which is something that I don't immediately realize as I knock this guy top left off the corner, and I don't even see that as I take care of these few bozos here, but just as a reminder, there was somebody flying off into the distance, one of these small critters here, which stealthily have also gotten more health as the overall health of enemies increased. So while I'm wondering why the enemy wall doesn't open, keep that in mind. Is this the path forward? No. It just lifts up these platforms just a little bit, which would seem like it's not necessary because you could still use them as footholds, as you would barely sink into the water. But just as a reminder, if just a little bit of a werehog's foot touches the surface of water, you immediately die, so of course you needed to lift these platforms up. Fortunately, there is a nice shortcut back here because the platform was uncomfortable, and the shortcut shortcut, funnily enough, gives us a second medal, so we got 2 for free here, so that's nice. But the wall still isn't lifted, and now I'm like, so did I miss something? Did I maybe knock somebody off? Who is now stuck in midair? Get out of here. Now I have to wait for him to die, but now finally we get a new wave of enemies spawning, which are just these small guys. Like 2 normal dudes is not very threatening at all. Not that anything else has been threatening, but the most danger I am in here is not charging up my punches enough. Now we have 2 of these, which are not supported by any other enemies. So honestly, I'm really wondering as I'm playing through this level, like, where is the challenge? Where are the interesting setups, the remixes? Are there at some point any Eggman robots going to assist the Dark Gaia ones, like we did it actually before in Spagonia, which had a much more varied and interesting enemy roster? Just a little bit weird. And I keep looking around for secrets as well, which is costing me the support platform here, but fortunately just hanging on here does give me the medal, which I fortunately spotted out of the corner of my eye. Well hidden, but I am very wise to the game's tricks by now and know how to find stuff. Now we can go up here, get another one that is completely out in the open for some reason, and an extra life. Very nice, very nice. Wondering if there is something that I'm missing behind this platform, but I keep trying to turn the camera and it doesn't work, so I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna miss one anyway, so let's just keep going before I waste everybody's time. Then we have another one of these swing poles here. Very nice. We can go here and activate another checkpoint. Excellent. And is something back here? Yep, you could maybe even see it move. So again, very well pays off to go into small hidden corners here, and usually my intuition for where to find stuff is pretty intact. Now we have a fight against a single one of these guys, something we have done already in Rooftop Run way back. This one here is much more tanky. I do forget that I have Unleash meter, of course, but I just use the opportunity to use my full combo attacks here. It's always fun. I have a 27 hit combo, very cool, very nice, and it doesn't really do anything. Like, you could see me try to block stuff, but it never even was close to hitting me, so that's very strange. Like, what is this doing here? In Dragon Road, if you remember, we had one of these guys and 2 wizards with another more spawning in, and a whole bunch of guys pre-spawned as well, and it was intended for you to, yeah, take the electric guy and kill a bunch of them at the same time, but also it was not a big deal to do that fight normally, especially with full Unleash choose. Here you have like one of those guys, just a single one. Like, what's the point? And I wonder if I could even skip it, but maybe I didn't see it. Dark Gaia energy was blocking this button or something. And here you get an extra life after this single platform, like the game is like, oh yeah, this is difficult, you're gonna need this. Like, no, it is not. Up here there is a platform where I really wonder if you can skip up to it, but I'm not finding it. And here I'm like, okay, just a jump. And then I think this waterfall should wash me into the drink. It doesn't. What does, however, is misjudging a jump distance, because, yeah, well, the jumps as a werehog, terrible. So I'm being overcautious here and trying not to jump into the waterfall, but again, it doesn't really hurt me too much. I do still think that it's supposed to push you down, and I think it has done that when I first played the level way back. But it's difficult for me to like fully remember here. It certainly seems like it would. Like, why else would it go on and off, right? And it's a bit strange. Here as well, it didn't really hurt me. And I'm glad that it is obviously very generous, because just waiting around all the time, not doing anything, would suck, right? So here we have these ledges as well, and if you could go to the bottom one, which we saw previously, you could skip the entire right part of this. So again, I'm wondering if you can get up here. Maybe some of you have played the game know that. Well, we will see. There is something hidden in the bushes right now that I see it. I wonder if I accidentally pick it up, because I definitely didn't do it when I first played. But I think it's just some random power-up and not a medal, maybe. Anyway, here there is at least a little bit more of a combination of enemies, but again, not really a big challenging encounter. You could also see me pick up the small fry and see how much damage a throw does, and the answer is not much. So I'm back to meleeing here, trying to break the guard, you know, with these attacks, the new ones that evolve the jump button as well. If I already do a 4 combo and then press the jump button, I do that, and if I would have done a 2 combo, press the jump button, I will do the knock up thing. I do like that now that we have more stuff unlocked, it becomes a lot more dynamic, and you can't like over combo, because you can still finish it with a jump, which is nice. I do think that these jump attacks, where you basically rip the enemy up are a little bit less effective, but I digress. So here I try to jump onto the ledge and grab onto it. Big mistake, because that's not how it works. And now I have to redo all that right part, so very annoying. You know, you just run off. It always feels sketchy to me, but you can't just run off these ledges. You don't have to press anything. Sonic will automatically grab onto them, so that was definitely 100% my bad. Anyway, we have to go to this corner, put the stone here, which is a non-puzzle. It doesn't really add anything. Again, maybe it's supposed to make you fight the enemies, but you probably don't really have to. Now you spot the moon medal here. I also see it, but something I don't realize immediately. I just closed off the moon medal. The door opened into its path and now I can't get it anymore. You're like, wait, there's something in here. Yeah, actually, full unleashed shoes. Very nice. I can actually use this, so that's good. And I'm like, wasn't the moon medal here? Where is it? Where is it? I didn't realize that it is behind the door. And it's like, yeah, here you can go behind the door. But these stinkers blocked it off by extending the rock here, and now I can't get it anymore. And I think like maybe you can do some speedrun tricks, because this move here, yep, this spiral, yep, you can use this to extend your jumps, but on the other hand I would probably be stuck behind there, so I'm like, yeah, whatever, I'm not gonna bother. Okay, so here, yep, gonna be a bit of an embarrassing fight, because that happens all the time, but it is also something that annoys me about these enemies. Like, I'm behind him and he jumps up and now the shockwave comes, but just the action of it jumping up already knocks me back. So basically his big butt energy, just this jump move, is already throwing me back. This is the second quick time event I missed. I'm really bad about these in this session. I don't know exactly why. Maybe I was rusty about button presses. For the Hornets I actually knew what happened, because I thought I had knocked it down. I wanted to grab it with the B button, but instead it activated the quick time event. I was like mashing the B button to keep grabbing, and yeah, that was a bad idea. Anyway, again, consider Skyscraper's Camper. We fought one of these guys on a rooftop twice, and it was super threatening to throw us off. Here is one of these guys, alone, completely out in the open, and there is no real danger here. It's super simple and easy. So again, I don't really get why this level is so easy. Like, I'm not complaining, but it's just strange about to me. Anyway, there is a button with 2 leaves. Here is a button with 3 leaves. So I think, I know this is a puzzle, and I think I have failed it at this point. Like, I pressed the buttons in the wrong order, because that is the puzzle. You have to press the plant buttons as the plant grows. However, it now has a bud here, and then the last step is obviously flower. So accidentally I just did the puzzle correctly, and it flows well, so that's fine. I do still remember, however, the first time I did this, I was like, which order do I press the buttons in? Okay, let's just remember, I can't press the flower first, which is up here. So I have to look for, here it's only leaves. Ah, no, this was the second stage. It's like I was just running around in circles all the time. But it's actually super easy. So if you do it like this, no problem. I just accidentally did it. Okay, and so I found this moon medal. One of them I locked myself out, so I'm only missing a single sun medal. Okay, that's cool, that's fine. I will do this at some point. Maybe the sun medal is here, I think, so that's why I'm running around this corner. Maybe, my instincts failed me, but that's fine. And here's just the end of the level after I stopped the final waterfall. So I guess the waterfalls are kind of the gimmick of this level. You see them once as a maybe obstacle, and then here once at the end where you have to get rid of one, and that is the level. One of the shortest werehog levels. It's one of the simplest werehog levels, with just like one single tricky bit as the jumping gets you, because it is bad. I don't really know what to think about it. It wasn't terrible, but also why? Thank you very much for your attention.